1. Introduction. My name is Eva. I am 27 years old. I work in a large technology company. My job title is marketing strategist. I am very good at my work. I am quick to understand new ideas and plans. I am also very good at reading people. This means I can often understand what others are thinking or feeling even before they speak. I can see small signs in their faces or actions. Because of this, I often know what people want or need. It helps me a lot in my job and in life. However, there is one person who is always a puzzle to me. This person is my boss, Connor. He is a complete mystery. Connor is a young man, only 30 years old. He holds the highest position in our company. He is the CEO. He is a tall man with a serious face. Everyone agrees he is very intelligent. Most people at work think he is almost perfect. He seems to have no faults. He always does his job very well. But he also seems very distant. He never smiles. I have never seen him laugh or tell a joke. He never joins us for company parties or other social events after work. Because of this, many people say he is a cold person. They think he does not have many emotions. Some others believe he might be a secret heartbreaker, a man who could easily charm and then leave others. I do not know which of these ideas is true. I do not know what kind of person he truly is. When I am near Connor, I feel something strange. It is a mix of different strong feelings. It is like a small fire inside me, but also a little fear. I feel a strong pull towards understanding him, but also a little scared of his serious nature. In the office, I try to act normal. I pretend that I do not care about him. I act as if he is just my boss and nothing more. But deep inside, I am very curious. I watch him often. I study his actions and his expressions when he thinks no one is looking. I try to understand what is behind his perfect, serious face. I wonder why a man who is so successful and seems to have everything still looks so lonely sometimes. I feel a quiet sadness from him. Secretly, I try to understand him. I want to find the real person hidden behind the powerful CEO. This is my own small, secret mission in the office. I want to learn more about the mystery of Connor. 2. A secret. One evening, a big problem hit our company. It was a computer bug, a very bad one. It stopped many important systems. Everyone else went home. Only Connor and I stayed at the office. We had to fix it quickly. The big office became quiet and dark. Only the soft sound of computers filled the air. We worked for many hours. The clock on the wall moved slowly. My eyes felt heavy from looking at the screen. My head hurt a little from thinking so much. I was also tired and a little angry. I had a very bad date earlier that week. It was a very boring date with a very boring man. I wanted to make the mood lighter. Connor was always so serious, even when we were alone. I looked at him. He was focused on his screen, his face calm and strong. I decided to make a joke. I said, "Connor, you are always so serious. Tell me a funny story. Maybe a story about a bad date. It will make me feel better about my own." I thought he would smile or laugh a little, but he did not. His face, usually so calm, turned a little red. He looked down at his desk. He did not look at me. He did not say anything for a long time. His silence was very long. It was not a normal silence. It was strange. I watched him. I thought, why is he so quiet? Why is his face red? Then, like a light turning on in my mind, I understood. It was a big surprise. He did not have a bad date story. He did not have one because he never had a date. Not one. He had no stories to tell. My boss, Connor, was a genius. He knew everything about computers and business. He built a big company, but he knew nothing about love or dates. He was not a cold man who broke hearts. He was not a playboy. He was a man who had never felt love in that way. He was a virgin. This secret was very big. It changed everything for me. Now I knew something very personal about my brilliant, serious boss. It was his secret, and I was the only one who knew it. 3. A different man. After that night, everything changed for me. My mind saw Connor in a new way. His quietness now looked like shyness. His strong face, which I thought was cold, now seemed gentle. His serious voice, always firm, now sounded careful. I understood why he never went to company parties. He was not busy, he was nervous around people. He was not truly cold, he was scared and perhaps a little lonely. This secret made me feel a new kind of connection to him, a soft understanding. Soon we went on a business trip together. It was a big tech conference in another city, far from our usual office. This meant we would spend many hours together. There were no office walls to hide behind, no quick emails, and no meetings to escape to. We had to talk and be near each other for days. Outside the office, Connor was a different man. He seemed to forget his usual serious act. He spoke more often, and his voice was softer than I had ever heard it. He listened carefully when I talked, asking questions and showing real interest. He even smiled. It was a small, gentle smile that reached his eyes, making them sparkle a little. Seeing this unexpected side of him made me feel something new. We walked through the city streets after conference sessions. We ate meals together in small restaurants. He talked about his work, but also about his ideas and some small things from his life. He seemed more relaxed, more open. The man everyone saw as perfect and distant was becoming human in front of me. I started to see the gentle person hidden behind the powerful CEO. A warm feeling grew strong in my chest. It was a feeling I had not expected, a feeling that felt a little dangerous. I was not just seeing my boss anymore. I was seeing a man who was shy and kind, a man who was learning to be himself outside of work. My feelings for him started to grow, slowly but surely, with every gentle smile and every soft word he shared during our time away. It was a quiet change, but a very important one. For the first kiss, the presentation was a big success. Eva and Connor had worked hard, and now their project was complete. To celebrate, they went to a quiet restaurant. It was a simple place, small and cozy, with soft lights. Connor looked tired, but his face showed happiness. Eva felt a lightness in the air, different from the office. For the first time, Connor started to talk about his past life. He spoke about how he spent all his time working. He told Eva about building the company from nothing. He said he worked day and night for many years. He explained that he never had time for friends. He never had time for love. He used a phrase saying he had missed a few steps in life. His voice was soft, and he looked a little shy. Eva saw a deep honesty in his eyes. Eva's heart began to beat very fast. She felt a strong connection to him. He looked so sweet, so open. In that moment, she felt brave. She decided to do something she had not planned. She leaned forward and kissed him. It was a soft, quick kiss on his lips. Connor froze completely. His eyes were wide with surprise. He looked confused and shocked. His body became stiff. Then, without a word, he stood up quickly from the table. He turned around and walked away from the restaurant. Eva watched him go, her heart sinking. She felt a sharp pain. She sat alone, feeling foolish and sad. She thought she had ruined everything between them. She went home and cried for many days. The memory of his scared face stayed with her. She believed she had made a terrible mistake. Then, one night, many days later, there was a knock at her door. It was Connor. He looked nervous, but his eyes were soft. He stood there unsure. He spoke quietly. "Eva," he said, "I am very sorry. I was scared. It was my first kiss, you see. I did not know what to do. I was not ready then, but I am not scared now." His words made Eva's heart hopeful again. She looked at him, truly seeing him. He stepped closer. Then he kissed her. This time it was a real kiss. It was deep and full of feeling. It was not quick or scared. It was long and warm. They stayed close for a long time. There was no fear between them now. There were no masks. They were just two people, honest with each other in the quiet night. It felt like a new beginning. 5. A problem at work. Eva and Connor returned to the office after their time away. Everything felt new to Eva. She looked at Connor, and he looked at her. Their eyes met more often now. They shared small, secret smiles. Other people in the office quickly noticed this. The way they spoke, the way they stood near each other, it was all different. People started to whisper. They talked in small groups. They wondered what was happening between the CEO and the marketing strategist. The office was soon full of guesses and gossip. Eva had a colleague named Sarah. Sarah also worked in marketing. She wanted the same promotion that Eva hoped to get. Sarah saw the change between Eva and Connor. She felt jealous. She started a bad rumor. Sarah told other colleagues that Eva was only with Connor to get ahead in the company. She said Eva was using Connor for a better job and more power. This rumor was not true, but it spread fast. It was a very cruel thing to say. Soon, the rumor reached the Human Resources Department. HR is the part of the company that handles people's problems and rules. They called Connor to a meeting. 2 people from HR were there. They looked serious. They told Connor about the rumor. They said it was bad for the company. They warned him to stop being close to Eva. They said he needed to protect the company's image and rules. They told him that personal relationships could cause problems at work. After this meeting, Connor changed completely. He became cold again. It was like he put a wall between them. He stopped looking at Eva. He did not smile at her anymore. He did not talk to her unless it was about work. When Eva tried to speak to him, he would quickly walk away. He avoided her in the hallways and in the break room. It was like their special time together had never happened. Eva felt very sad. It felt like her heart was breaking for a second time. She did not understand why he was acting this way. The warmth they had found was gone. Connor was distant and quiet, just like he was before Eva knew his secret. Eva felt lost and confused by his sudden change. The office felt big and empty without their connection. Every day was hard. She missed the gentle man she had started to know, and the silence between them was painful. It was a difficult time for Eva at work. 6. An apology. The silence lasted for 2 long, painful weeks. Connor was distant. He did not talk to Eva. He looked away when she was near. Eva felt like her heart was broken again. She thought their new connection was gone forever. The office felt cold, just like Connor used to be. Every day was hard. She missed his warm eyes and his soft voice. She missed the closeness they had found. She wondered if he truly wanted to end things because of the rumors. Then, one evening, something changed. Eva was leaving the office building. The sun was going down. As she walked outside, she saw Connor. He was standing near the entrance, waiting. He looked tired and sad. He did not look like the strong CEO everyone knew. He looked like a man with a heavy heart. Eva stopped. Her heart started to beat fast. She did not know what to expect. Connor walked closer. He looked at her eyes for the first time in many days. His voice was quiet. "Eva," he said, "I am very sorry. I am sorry for hurting you." Eva listened. She waited for him to continue. He took a deep breath. "I was scared," he admitted. "But it was not HR that scared me. It was my feelings. My strong feelings for you, they scared me." His words surprised Eva. She had thought he was worried about his job or about what people said. But he was worried about his heart. "Eva, I like you," he said, his voice a little stronger but still soft. I want you. He looked nervous. I want to learn how to be with someone. I want to learn how to be in a relationship. He looked at her, his eyes full of honesty. But I do not know how to do it. I have never done it before. His voice shook a little. It was a very honest admission. Eva felt a mix of surprise and hope. He was truly vulnerable. He was telling her his biggest fear. Then he took a small step towards her. He looked at her with hopeful eyes. He asked, "Will you go on a real first date with me?" It was a simple question, but for him, it felt like a very big step. It was an invitation to a new beginning just for them. 7, our first date. The evening for our first date finally came. I put on a nice dress, something simple but pretty. Connor picked me up from my home. He wore a suit like always, but his tie was a little loose. He looked nervous. His eyes met mine, and he gave a small, shy smile. My heart felt warm already. We went to a quiet Italian restaurant. It had soft lights and gentle music playing. Connor held the door for me, and we sat at a small table near a window. He handed me the menu, but for a moment he held his own menu upside down. I smiled softly. He saw it and blushed, his face turning a little red. We ordered our food. Connor tried to pour water for me, but he almost spilled it. Then, when our main dishes arrived, he dropped his fork onto the floor. It made a small sound. He looked very sorry. I told him, "It's okay, Connor. These things happen." He laughed a little, a gentle and sweet sound. We started to talk. He asked me about my family. I told him about my 2 sisters and my old dog, Buster. I asked him about his childhood. He told me he spent a lot of time studying and working. He did not have many friends when he was young. I felt a little sad for him, but I was also happy that he was sharing these personal stories. He told me about his big dreams for the company. I told him about my dream to travel the world and see new places one day. We talked for a long time. The food was good, but our conversation was even better. I saw a different Connor tonight, not the serious boss from the office. This was a man who wanted to learn, who wanted to connect with me. He listened to every word I said. He looked at me with open, warm eyes. Sometimes he would reach across the table as if to touch my hand, but then he would stop. He was still careful, still a little shy, but he was truly trying to open up. I felt so happy. It was a deep, quiet happiness that filled my heart. It was not the loud, excited kind of happy. It was the kind that made me feel calm and complete. It felt like I was floating, like I was falling, but in a very good and safe way. We were not in the office anymore. There was no big desk between us. There were no urgent emails to answer. We were just Eva and Connor, 2 people, learning about each other, learning how to be close. It was our first date, and it felt like the true beginning of something very special. 8, a new chapter. The date with Connor finished. They walked out of the restaurant into the cool, quiet night. Many stars shone brightly in the dark sky. They stopped for a moment, standing side by side. They looked up at the distant lights. A soft silence was between them. Connor turned to Eva. He gently took her hand. His fingers felt warm and strong. His touch was soft, but Eva felt his clear wish. He looked into her eyes. A small smile touched his lips. His voice was quiet. "Eva," he said, I want to try with you. I want you in my life, not as my worker, just as you, as Eva." Eva's heart felt light. Happiness filled her. She smiled back, a wide, true smile. She gave a small, happy laugh. Connor laughed too. It was a soft, joyful sound. In that moment, under the stars, they both felt truly free. A heavy weight had lifted from them. All worries, all past problems seemed to fade into the night. There were no office walls around them, no strict rules from HR, no bad rumors from jealous people. There was no fear of what others might say, no fear of their own strong feelings. They were simply two people who had found something special, two people ready to begin something new. Their hands stayed together. They felt a new peace, a new hope for what could be. They had been boss and employee. Now they were becoming something more, something deeper. They knew it would not always be easy. Love was new for Connor. It was new for Eva to be with someone like him. But they were ready. They were ready to learn together. They would learn about love, about trust, and about each other. This was the true beginning of their story. It was not a perfect story. It was not a simple path, but it was real. It was honest. It was their own story. They were opening a new chapter, a fresh page to be written. This chapter was about two hearts learning to meet in the middle. It was a new beginning for both of them, a promise for a future they would build together.